Okay, hi, this is Mark at Skywagon University. We're at Roswell and we're looking around and finding interesting planes and interesting owners of planes and having a chat about them. This is Yamil Quiñones.
Quiñones, yep.
Did I get it right?
You got it.
Okay, cool. From Puerto Rico, and he owns this Brousard. So we're just going to have a look at it and see what it's all about. But the first thing I noticed is it's got a Pratt & Whitney in it.
That is correct. It's a Pratt & Whitney 985. Many people know it as the Wasp Junior. And it's an engine that is well known. Many other platforms on the market use that engine.
How many horsepower?
It's 450 horsepower. It's a supercharged type of engine. And you got the Twin Beach, the Beaver use the same platform. And there are some others, that use
and the Stearman, the big Stearman.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, excellent. And so these are French, right? Broussards.
That is correct. It's a French-made plane. It's from the 1950s. This specific model is 1956. And it's made by the Max Holstein Aerospace Company. It was a requisition that the French Navy had, and they want to have a plane that it's multi-use.
What were they designed for?
It was designed to multitasking. They have a characteristic, to carry a wounded soldier. So you have two stretch chairs, that we're going to be able to see.
Oh yeah, well,
the hard mounts, on the inside. It had basically a smoke grenade launchers on the side. It have camera holes for vertical pictures. It have internal camera and a machine gun, mounts that we use, for that intention.
Right.
There was, and again, don't know much on the history, but there was some sort of invasion called the Algeria invasion.
Right.
That France was doing, at some point, and the plane was mainly developed and designed, for that purpose, for the Algeria war.
And I noticed that it's a tail dragger, of course.
It is a tail dragger, yes.
How is it as a tail dragger? Is it pretty docile? I've seen them doing stall drag racing in these.
It is a big plane, it's a heavy plane. I believe that the length of the fuselage, it's so short that in flight it's a little bit unstable when it comes into the yaw movement. Plus, the weight of the plane create a lot of inertia.
Right.
So when you apply rudder, to one direction, you have all that weight, so it creates a lot of inertia.
Yeah.
So, but that's actually how it got designed, because of the twin tail.
Twin tail, that's what I was going to say.
Because of the twin tail, the tails or the fins are outside of the slipstream. So they become really efficient. So a little bit, it does a lot because it's outside of that slipstream that propeller creates.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, well let's have a look around it, and you should show me the interesting. I mean, I'm looking at the brakes. Those are like ventilated.
Ventilated. They are actually special type. They are not like the current type of design that we see in here in the U.S. Those are rotors that are pads and brake discs, all in a sandwich form. Oh. And they have basically a big piston that basically push against.
Jams it together.
So, exactly. So that piston, it's huge. It's almost like 4 or 5 inches, big, that it uses seals, and that's how.
So it's got very good brakes.
Very, very good. As a matter of fact, if you're not careful, you can actually flip that plane, a lot. The plane, when the French made it, and they did a lot of analysis and a lot of tests. They use it as cargo. They use the plane, for agro and spraying, in
agricultural,
they also did a lot of research, on the leading edge, and they did slots and they did cough. All of these platforms, it was tested, but it was never produced, in large amount, because only 396 of these planes were ever built.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the data is still somewhere, and people have access. As a matter of fact, Peter Hawthorne out of Eugene, Oregon, he have a maintenance job. He's actually the one, we call it the master of Broussard, because he have imported many of them.
Okay.
And he actually did the entire engineer analysis to duplicate what the Max Holstein did back in those days. So he actually made 2 prototypes of this leading edge. I have one of those prototypes, and the other one, I believe there is another person in the US that did a conversion of the plane with a turboprop.
Oh, really?
We have the other, which basically reprofile the leading edge.
So it's a bit more stall.
It is.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you're slowing the stall speed, but you're increasing also the cruise speed.
Oh, yeah.
Because it actually changed, literally the camber.
So that would be almost like a Beaver then? Same engine and a stall kind of wing?
The current speed is about 52 miles per hour, the stalling speed, so it's already pretty slow.
So does it, 52 knots, does that mean does that mean it's in the Mosaic requirements?
The what?
Mosaic, the new laws of Mosaic?
No.
It can be light sport if it's less than 12,000 pounds and stalls at under 60.
Yes, and I guess that it all depends, on the weight.
That's a hell of a,
Because the weight, the max gross weight is 6,000 pounds or around that.
Okay.
It's shy 6,000.
What's a useful load?
Depending if it actually have the avionics removed, because back in the days they have a lot of avionics with glass tubes, and this equipment used to be really bulky and heavy, and they used to be set, behind the firewall
in there,
the bulkhead, and there is probably about 150 pounds that you don't see, but it was equipment that was in here and on the other side.
Right.
This plane, all that equipment is being removed, so now you gain some payload.
Well, and looking inside it, there's a bulkhead there.
Correct.
So that's empty.
So all of this is actually empty.
Okay.
Except for the avionic tray that's behind that. In this plane, it's been removed, so you gain about 150 to 200 pounds of payload. Total payload, it's somewhere around the 2,800 pounds.
2,800 pounds.
That is correct.
That's the weight of a loaded 182.
That's correct. The plane current max gross is again 5950 or close to 6,000 pounds.
6,000 gross. And look at the size of that door.
Yes.
I mean, that is utility if you ever saw it.
There are two designs of these doors. This is the double pane, but there is another design that the half of the door, like this one, slide back.
Okay.
And you can slide it, you can close it and open in air during flight. This one has to either be open before takeoff or close, but you cannot open it.
Oh yeah, because it would slam open.
It will slam on the back.
And that would probably make it into an excellent parachute.
It does. As a matter of fact, they do have brackets that are mounted in here, and literally are handles, and they use the plane also for skydiving as well back in those days.
Yeah.
But the space, as you mentioned, I mean, it's so great. It is a 6-seater. The seats are great because seats are made flat on the bottom, so literally they are bolted into the ground, and they use you use a special hooks in here that are also tie downs, for cargo.
Oh yeah, okay.
So when they made it in a way that you remove the seat, you put it on the ground, and you can have a picnic area,
And not only that, you can camp in it and use the stretchers.
You can do that, or you can actually do what we do. I made a special mattress that it's thicker on the back and thinner on the front, so it compensates for the slope.
So you don't have to lift the tail
I have the mattress, in here. I can show you, that later. But with that, I compensate some of that slope.
Otherwise, you got to put the tail wheel on a bucket.
Yeah, it's too heavy. It's about 700 pounds.
Yeah, I bet.
Pounds.
Yeah.
But it has so much space that literally you can carry. You can sleep in. You can carry stuff. You can put 55-gallon drums inside really easy.
And then
that's the whole purpose of the
and just as a practical day-to-day plane, tell me some of the cruise speed and the fuel burn and that kind of stuff.
So on the fuel burn, the plane does about 24 gallons, 25 gallons, depending on the power setting that you have. An hour.
Right.
The cruise is about 100 knots, probably 115 miles per hour, depending on the density and your center of gravity, where you have it, at that point.
Oh yeah.
The interesting fact on this plane is that not only the 24 or 25 gallons an hour, but if you have access to ethanol-free fuel, which many of the enthusiasts or pilots, have access and like to use.
Meaning car fuel.
Car fuel, ethanol free.
Right.
This engine is designed all the way down to be, 81 octane. So you can get 81, which is the low grade, 88 mid grade, or 91 octane ethanol free. You are allowed to use it, on this engine.
And what saves the fortune there is here we are in New Mexico. I'm seeing gas prices at $2.80.
That is correct.
And in California, it's like $5.
I know. Yes. Not only that. Think about it. Any 6-seater out there, it's actually a 6-seater. But it's real 4 full-grown adults and probably 2 child.
Yeah.
When you compare a 206, a 210, a 209, you're averaging, probably around that. Right. Not like in today's weight of normal
humans.
Normal humans, So on this plane, you are not going to have that problem. The space is so great. You have probably about 12 inches in between each seat
Yeah.
that it's good enough, to even walk all the way down. There is a relief tube. If you have to, do your things, in midair.
Where's the inside part?
No, the hose is not connected because we don't use it.
Okay.
But
I expected to see a line of corrosion behind it.
No, we don't use it. But going back, to the fuel, it's amazing because now you're talking in some places the avgas goes up to $7, even $8 a gallon. If you have a chance, to get ethanol free, you can bring it down, to $3.20.
So who cares if you're burning 26 gallons an hour?
So the operating cost per hour is actually very reasonable when it comes to 6-seater, that it doesn't limit you with carrying something or weight.
Right.
You can have 6 passengers full of fuel and still have some luggage, and you're not reaching max gross. How is that?
That is excellent.
So
can we go look around, down at because the main feature of this that catches your eye is the double rudder.
Double vertical fin, yes. So the plane was designed with twin rudder. This is the company, Max Holsey, the aerospace company that made it.
And that's metal, that's fabric?
That's, many of these planes from this era, they were made with the flying surface, in fabric to reduce weight.
And the elevator, and the flaps, and the ailerons.
And the aileron, that is correct. They are actually made out of fabric, trying to reduce, some of the weight. And in here...
See, I can read a little bit of French. This is, do not lean on here.
There we go, okay. You know more than I do. I know what it means,
Yeah.
So, but this is a very... I think that it was a well-designed plane. It's really rough, really heavy duty. As you can see, all of the leading edge on every one of the surface, the vertical fins, the horizontal stabilizer, and the wings are removable. There is a set of screws that allows you to remove this entire panel.
Why?
And have access for inspection, repairs, do anything that you might need to do, including, the regular inspections,
I think that means do not push here.
That's good. You see, I didn't even know.
In other words, it would be no push.
No push,
Yeah.
no push. A very, very nice characteristic of the plane that you face when you start owning one is that the plane was made back in the days when France was not part of the ISO standard. So many of the threads on this plane are not ISO standard. What that means is that there is a time, where every country was making their own thread, and French was the same thing.
Right.
So the 4mm screws that are, all of these are 4mm screws, rather than being what the standard is today's days, which is with a pitch of 0.7, meaning that 0.7 millimeter from thread to thread, they are 0.75. So now you're not going to be able to find any kind of screws.
So have you got a whole bucket full of screws in the plane? So,
well, not that, but you have to either find antique screws or make your own.
Make them. Wow.
So you have to, when I say make them, having a machine shop, that make them, and they don't gonna make, 2 or 3. You have to get, probably thousands, So.
And then I'm looking at this, the pivoting point on the rudder, that mechanism there. That's passing through inside. What's that for?
Very interesting that you make that question. So what happened is that the rotating point, of the entire rudder, it's so much forward that there is no place to put weight. So that's actually to balance the flying surface. This tube in here is full of lead, and what it's doing, it's what regular type of planes does, in balancing.
So it's the bit that sticks forward on the top of a rudder.
Same thing with this arm in here. There was no place because the pivoting point of the elevator, it's so forward that there is no place. And what they did is that they create an arm where they move the arm forward so they can do the balance, and now the control surface is balanced.
And won't flutter.
As you know, an unbalanced control surface, can flutter in here, and you don't want that, to happen. So those are the weight for balancing.
Perfect. Why the anchor?
Very interesting. I think that's the Navy, the French Navy symbol. And I don't recall exactly, but I think that anytime that they have a ring that it's yellow, I think it's during the peacetime. So in this case, it's not wartime.
Exactly. Okay. And then you said the avionics were back here, but now you've got some weights back here.
That is correct. So this compartment in here was literally the VHF radios, and back in those days, radios and electronics and components, were made out of glass tube.
Valves, we call those valves.
There we go.
Big old bulbs.
Yes.
And they have to warm up.
And I don't know much, about that, but it took a lot of space,
Yeah.
Part of that space that requires constant attention and probably maintenance, was in here. That equipment is no longer being used. It's been removed, so now it's actually a cargo compartment that I use for part of that balance that we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
This is a steel shot back, 50 pounds. And I have some of the solar panel because I did some mods. This is a mod that I did in order to maintain the battery on the plane.
Oh, I saw the solar panel back there.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what I do is that during the day I recharge the battery. During the night I use the 24-volt battery bank to run accessories during the night.
Okay.
Either a heater or an air conditioner through an inverter, and that's literally what I do. I charge the battery, and my output, it's there. Those are just solar controllers.
I have a similar arrangement on my house.
Oh, is that right?
Charge in the day, use in the night.
There we go. So same thing,
Perfect.
It allows you to be off-grid, for
exactly.
sometimes. So.
It's a hell of a camper.
There we go, yeah. Like a station wagon, right? Like a mini caravan.
Yeah, very much. So here I am on the stretcher testing it out, just because it's convenient for looking at the cockpit. I'm seeing some very familiar things. Obviously, there's King radios. There's it's a stick, not a yoke. There's a radio cassette player.
It does work.
Does
And
it?
it actually plays on all the headsets on the plane, so we can actually listen some nice FM radio as well as AM,
And tapes.
and tapes.
Yeah, and some people watching this won't know what a tape is.
That's correct. Yeah, a cassette or tape. Yeah.
No, it looks like a pretty nice utility type of plane with a lot of room in the front.
Right. You might be able to see the buttons on the flight control stick that allows you to activate many of the accessories. You see the the stick and also the throttle. The throttle have buttons that allows you to activate.
Oh, I see it on there. Yeah.
Grenade launchers, or it's actually smoke grenade, not grenades that explode. It's just a smoke grenade.
Oh, okay.
But it allows you to activate things.
From there.
Actuators, from the outside. Yep.
And where would you have fired the guns from if it had guns?
Well, there was a machine gun that they have as a part of their accessories that it get mounted in here on the back. There are actually hard points on the ceiling, as you might be able to see.
Oh, so you shoot out the sides?
You shoot out of the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But again, it was not that efficient type of platform.
No, it was a sort of,
The engine the propeller make a lot of noise because of the diameter and the speed. The tip of the propeller is getting to the subsonic.
Nearly supersonic.
And it make that sounds that you hear.
Like the T6s.
The T6s, yes.
I mean, I always joke I have a Mooney, and they're not known for their size.
Okay.
And I say to people, feel free to move around the cabin. Well, in this plane, you can actually move around the cabin. Look, I'm standing in it.
You can. Yeah.
Look, I'm standing in it.
Yeah. You can, and you have those hard mounts, as you probably noticed, for the stretch chair.
Yeah.
So even that they were made, for patients, and why not? I mean, you still be able to lay down, or if not, you remove them and you can actually use the floor. But
Very much
they
so.
have a lot of space, and as you can see, have a lot of other hookups, to mount. There is a coffee / wine carrier that it's like a thermo that I haven't been able to find, but it's actually part of the plane. Right now there is a water tank. That water tank is removable, and that's fresh water to be used, either for cooking, washing.
So it really is a camper.
It is. It is literally. There is a 300-pound. I believe it's 300-pound cargo compartment or closet back there that is with a zipper. If you open that, you get a big hunk.
So that's where you keep your clothes and things?
Tools, clothes,
Like an RV.
Yeah, like a RV.
So, what haven't I asked you? What haven't I asked you? Is there something that you wanted to tell us about it that I've missed? Because I don't know the plane.
Well, I don't have all the details on what I'm going to tell you, but through my research, I was able to find some details that point out that this plane used to belong a very respectable pilot. His name is Bill Anders. That's the reason that he had that code on the back, that it's 68 Alpha Foxtrot. It actually comes from the 1968 Apollo mission.
Really?
It's the apogee, which is the name when the orbit of the moon is closer to Earth, and then F from fly. So it's 1968 apogee fly. And I have not been able to find pictures that can actually test on this, but few people that know the late Bill Anders, you know, they knew that this used to be his personal plane, and he kept this plane in his museum. Some of the records that I have, there is copies that says, please keep in the museum office, and please keep on the plane. So I don't know the entire detail, neither I have, you know, the fact, but it make a lot of sense. 1968 Apogee Fly was the first time that a human has been, you know, in the orbit, and that's the picture that Bill Anders took, you know, from.
Excellent.
I believe it's called Earth Rising, or
Earthrise.
Earthrise. Yes.
Earthrise.
That famous pictures. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yamil, that's right.
Yes.
Yamil.
Yes, sir.
Very, very kind of you to let us come over and interrupt
Absolutely.
your day and show us around the plane.
It's a pleasure.
Just tell me what year it is.
1956.
It's 1956, Brousard. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
This Mark,
Glad to have you,
Mark at Skywagon University doing an owner interview on a very interesting, very utilitarian Brousard.
Thank you. Thank you for
very much.
the opportunity, and thank you for watching.
And I've got to tell all my subscribers, subscribe and like and click on the link and comment. And we've got all kinds of merch on our website at Skywagon University and at Plane Crazy Life. And we're here as well, and that Beach 18 is ours. See the Plane Crazy Beach?
Very nice, very nice.
So thanks very much for watching.